Hi friends, it's Pocket Wednesday, and Pocket Wednesday is hosted by our friend Stephanie at Coffee Paper Scissors. So I thought I would just join in. I've been working on a new journal, so I thought I would just show you a few of the pockets that I have created in this journal. On this first page, let me get some of that out of the way. I don't know that this qualifies for a pocket. It's really more of a tuck spot, but you can see that I have a spot here and here to securely tuck this tag. Now I do know a lot of people that are joining in will be doing tutorials on their pockets and how they created a pocket, but I didn't film any of this because I'm trying to keep a lot of it a surprise for my client who ordered it. So I figured I would just show you the pockets that I made. This is a very simple corner pocket, and you can see I just used cardstock, and then I just took some material, actually this sort of material, I'm not sure what we call that, and I just tied it in a little knot, and then I added a little butterfly to it. This is another pocket in the journal, and cardstock here, and then a nice large corner pocket with vintage music paper that's been coffee dyed and spritzed. And then I used, what do we call this material? I can't remember, a cheesecloth. I used some teal colored cheesecloth, and then I made a ticket. Well, I put the ticket, it came with this digital kit that I used, and then I did add a little bit of stickles just to give it a little shine. There you go, I think you can see it now. I took a vintage envelope. This envelope is from 1988, July 6th, and I coffee dyed it, and it's a window envelope. So let me take the tags out so you can see what I did. So, oops. So this is what we have, but of course the way it sits in the journal is like this, so you're going to see this first. So I just put a piece of scrap paper here and then added some ship ephemera. And when you open it up, I split this because if you do that, when you put something in a journal, then this paper can get really like bound up and crinkled. But if you just cut it, that won't happen. And I learned this trick from my friend Sherry at Turquoise Streaming. So here, it's just like a very simple collage. Some paper from a bag, and then vintage scrapbook paper, and then music paper, and then some scrapbook paper that I had inked on the sides. Basically the same thing over here. And then when you flip it over, so this is what you'll see when you turn the page of the journal. And all I did here was right here and right here, I used some almost like rice paper that had a pattern on it, and these were scraps, and I just put them on, and they look so cool because they've been coffee dyed. I had some little mini tags. I'm not going to show the other one because I need to keep some of this a surprise for the flip through for one, and then also for my client. So these were given to me in a Happy Mail, and so they just needed a little tiny pocket, so I put one pocket here. And then I put like this little slide pocket that the other one will go in right here. So I thought that was cute. It's not really a pocket. It's sort of like a horizontal belly band, really. And then I have this little band sort of pocket that this large, I'm going to flip it over so you can't see the other side. We'll save that for the flip through. So this tucks in like this. And I noticed as I was getting ready to show you guys that I forgot to embellish it. So we're just going to real quick add an embellishment. Now this is a wooden button, and I'm going to take the shine off of it with some sandpaper, and we do that because we want there to be good adhesion between the button and the paper. So let me get all my dust off of there because that would really interrupt the adhesion. And I know this, I do this because I used to be a nail tech. I used to do nails, and if there's a shiny surface, sometimes your glue won't stick as well. And that's why, if you notice, if you ever have had your nails done with acrylics, they sand your nails down, and that is why. So my glue here is down on its last little bit, and so I have to hold it upside down. And it's driving me crazy. I can't wait to be done with it and start a new one, because when it gets to the end, it's just so ridiculous. You guys know what I mean? So I always, even though this has a little spot of adhesive on it, I always add glue to anything, you know, all of my projects. I don't really trust adhesives. Now I got a lot on there, so I'm going to try to get some onto this other side without gluing them together. Okay, perfect. Right now we're going to pop one of these here. And then we're going to pop the other one over here. There we go, nice and sparkly. And you'll see how nicely that matches the postcard. Well, I was gonna save that for you, but I guess I could show you so you can see how nice it matches. So the postcard has a little bit of blue and pink in it, and a little bit of purple right here. So I think that looks super pretty, right? So here's quite similar as the first one that I showed you. I put a tag in here, and this came with the digital kit, but this was a scrap, and I rounded the corners, and then I put this vintage, you know, it goes to the post office and it stamps it down. And this is from August 15th, 1990, and I cut it with my decorative scissors, and then I just went around it with my mint ink so that it blended nicely with this little scrap piece. So that's how I made that. So here I've got two different types of pockets. This was like the first one and the one I just showed you, and it's got the tab here. Then with this was actually an offcut from this, and I was like, oh yeah, let me use that. And I rounded the corners, and this really does help keep our tags from sliding out. And then this pocket, this one I didn't even really have to do anything to, except I put a little ink around the edges, but this came with the kit, so all I had to do with that was stuff it. Here I've got an upper pocket that I used cardstock to create, and then I put a little mint cheesecloth on it, and then put this really pretty wooden button on it. So on this side I have this one that's familiar to you guys. It's got this, and then also this, which helps again stabilize the tag from coming out. The last pocket I'm going to show you today is another one of the vintage envelopes. And all I did here was, you can see here, it was July 8th in 1987. The previous owner of the envelope wrote some sort of number here, maybe that was a bank account number. I put this on here, so if somebody wanted to, you know, just make a note of the day and maybe what they were going to journal about on their cards, they could. Added the cheesecloth here with a wooden button. So this would be in the journal. I'm planning for this to be like one of the center spreads, so it'll have this little doily in the center. So on the inside, just some very simple collage work with some scraps, and added some ribbon here. And then same, this was a scrap here, and then this was just a nice piece that I put over it just because I thought it looked nice. And I like to keep these together so I don't forget to put my doily in there when I go to sew the signatures in. And then here's the back side. So what I love about this is that this tag is showing through the window, and this tag actually, the paper part, this part of it, this blue over here, was given to me by my friend Carol at Carol's Recrafted Boutique, and then I used a piece of scrap paper that I had over it, and then another one of my you know, I took the envelope apart just so that I could use this part, and I popped that in there. But look, when I throw it in here, and then this paper matches this scrap paper that I just put on here for a little decoration, I think it has a great impact. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, guys. If I have more ready for next week, I'll join the collab again. I don't know if I will, but we'll just see how things go. Check out Stephanie's channel, Coffee Paper Scissors. Thanks for watching. See you soon.